Well, hello everybody. Welcome to the show today. It is comics news today for the May of the what is it? The 3rd? May 3rd, I guess. So happy to have you guys in here with us. We got a lot of good news to talk about and stupid news as well. But we'll go to jumping into it here momentarily. I want to say hello to our guest that we have in here. It's always good for me, and it is a gorgeous day. It's a day off. Got my wife moving around, and she doesn't sit down very much. I don't know how your wives are, but mine's always moving. But it's a sunny day. I got a cup of coffee, and I'm sitting with a bunch of friends, so I'm happy. Hey, Booster, how you doing?
Hey, Chester, I'm doing spectacular. I have a question for you.
Oh,
Why is the stream from yesterday called Night Owls if Night Owls is an hour earlier than this one?
are you being pedantic?
Yes.
Oh,
I
well,
learned it from you.
yeah.
Learn it from
That's fair.
you.
That's
I
fair.
learned it from you, Dad.
That's fair.
Daddy?
uh,
Oh, Tristan, Daddy!
because because
Okay.
yeah.
There you go.
Good
Yeah.
answer. I like that. I respect
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, I'm happy. Yeah. But how you doing there, Thunder? What's going on, dude?
I am splendid. Splendiferous. It's a good vocab word. I love it. That's what I am right now.
It is.
It's just a good day. It's raining and hideous outside, but for me, it's a good day. I made about 500 extra bucks today on the old stock market. Not a bad day.
That's not
Shit.
bad at all.
Good day. Good
Share with
day.
me. I get a percentage of that.
Do you? Alrighty.
Yeah.
Good deal.
I actually put the idea in his head. I was like, bro, you got to do that, man. That's so great. So as your agent, I get 10% of this.
If I can consistently, make decent money off of it, I'm definitely going to. I think that might just be what I do from now on.
Yeah.
Because I've been making quite a bit of money.
Well,
That's
sweet.
if you can consistently make $500 a day, which isn't a lot comparatively, but as a single individual, you can certainly make a living at it. I will tell you this: there are bad days.
Of course.
Yeah.
Oh, I could have made almost 1,000 today if I would have. Well, it would have been last week if I would have sold last week, but I didn't. I didn't get in time, so it didn't happen.
Oh, there you go.
That's okay.
Yeah, no. Stock trading it's an option, dude. It's definitely an option these days. It's kind of one of those quiet things that happen that are pretty handy. We got DeWolf in here. He says, "What's up? Hey, haven't seen you in a while, dude."
It's the wolf.
Yeah,
He exists still.
He does. He does. And he's actually in a kind of a similar business to these two guys here with us, Booster. Eric's more of a bossy type guy, but Thundera is a
Eric is a bit of a
repairman for utilities and stuff, and DeWolf is too. But his is medical equipment. But I mean, it's very similar. They do similar things. You ever talk to DeWolf about that, Thundera?
Yeah, absolutely. Long time ago, but yeah. Wolf and I used to have really long conversations, and then one time I was exhausted and accidentally fell asleep on him, and he wouldn't have him with me anymore.
Aww.
It wasn't intentional, bro.
Yeah.
Poor guy.
Poor guy.
Hard.
Yeah,
sometimes
but no.
you're just tired. You know what I mean? Sometimes you're like,
Well, during the whole Rona thing, he certainly was busy though. That kind of, he got a lot of pickup and work and stuff because of what of his repair skills, being specific to medical things. But yeah, it is pretty interesting that there's a lot of people that do similar things. I was really surprised. I was talking to Eric about it earlier. Hey, Eric, what's up, dude?
Hey, how's it going?
Yeah, you and Thundera are in the same business, basically.
Yeah, same industry. Yeah.
Yeah, he buys from you, I would assume.
not from him directly, but from one of his affiliates.
Yeah, well, yeah,
Absolutely.
but I mean his company,
Yep.
So
we buy from anybody, Chester. Generally speaking, whoever gives us the most money in our sale.
Yeah, no, I imagine that. Yeah, Joel says he's being held hostage at work. Yeah, no, dude, we know, we know, dude. But that's all right. That means you're working, you're necessary, you're making money. That's all good, dude. That's one of the things for me. I do work a lot, but this window of just being in Japan, this morning window, because I mainly afternoon, nighttime is where my work is. It works out perfect for me to take a little bit of a break and have some fun chatting with people. So it's otherwise I wouldn't be anywhere near anything on the internet. Goodness gracious.
Oh yeah.
But
Yeah. That's where I'd like to be. To be honest with you, I told my wife I don't think my cell phone's on its last leg. Had it for about 4 years now. I don't think I'm getting another one. If anything, it'll be a flip phone just for emergencies. Because I don't use it except for to, fuck around. I don't use it for anything I need to. Anybody who needs to actually get a hold of me will either email me or whatever, right? They know, or come to my house, right? They know how to get a hold of me if they need to. So it just feels like a burden to me whenever I'm with it. It angers me when I'm using it. I don't know what it is. It's some psychological thing with me and that phone. I'm not happy. Not a happy boy when I'm using it.
Well, I don't even own one, so solve that problem. But we actually had a conversation in the doctor's class yesterday regarding technology and specifically smartphones. And they're all, of course, they're all older men. I think the youngest one is 37, 38 years old. And everyone agreed that it's a sad thing, but this introduction of technology is leading to some pretty dark places.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And actually, there's a lot of data that shows that it increases depression.
Yeah.
All sorts of negative emotions get amplified just by using one. Because for whatever reason, they don't really have an explanation other than potential theories. But there's a lot of evidence that getting your digital footprint or whatever you want to call it down is better for your mental health for a lot of people.
Yeah. Well, I don't have time for one of them, to be honest with you. And besides, that's what secretaries are for.
It's true.
That's their job.
That's what we all really need is cute little secretaries. That's what we all cute little Japanese secretaries, Booster. That's what we all need.
I don't know how cute she is,
short
but
skirts and everything. Yeah.
she's young.
Oh, so you're telling me your wife picked her? I got it.
Right? How did you know? Oh, she's good though. She does a good job. That's all that matters. But anyway, we're not here to talk about secretaries. We're here to talk about comic books. You guys ready?
Yeah.
I'm
yeah.
ready.
I love comic books.
We are going to start out with a little bit of sad news, though, Booster. Unfortunately.
Oh no! What do we got?
But we have a bit of an in memoriam. There it is. I got it out.
Oh, well done. Very respectful.
Thank you. All right, let me bring it up here. Yeah, go ahead, Booster.
All right, legendary comics artist John Paul Leon dies at 49. Well,
that's sad as hell. He's been battling cancer for quite a while, so it's not hugely surprising. I don't know how many of you recognize his name. He's younger than me, but I recognize.
Yeah, by like 20 years.
No, he's no. Close enough. But he's done a lot of stuff that I know his work with DC. He's been doing with them for quite a while. He started when he was like 16 or something, which is pretty impressive. But
Sure.
I know him mainly from doing like covers and stuff for Dragon magazine. So he has this great noir look, which he was doing with the Batman stuff. But his they don't even have it here. But his Dungeons and Dragons stuff, I've always loved. I thought he was really, really good at that, and he's quite prolific. He's been working right along, and just sad, man. Way too young, very talented dude. Let me bring up some of these images here. Oh yeah, that's right. I don't get to use Twitter anymore. I'm not.
What a shame.
Yeah, we can look in the little pictures. But he did some the Hellblazer stuff too, which you like.
Yeah, I saw the Hellblazer. Yeah, I was loving that series. That was one of the best things coming out of DC, and then they canned it.
Yeah.
At like issue 11. I was so bummed out. And then they got fucking Tom Taylor and Ozzy to write John Constantine.
Yeah. But condolences to his family, of course. Like I said, he has been battling these. How many years has it been, Eric?
I believe it was 15 years is what I read. He'd been battling cancer.
That's rough, dude.
Shit.
It's rough.
What a trooper.
And he was working the whole time as well.
What a fucking trooper.
Yeah. And, he actually studied under Will Eisner, which is impressive. But I really loved his Dungeons Dragon stuff, and his noir look with Batman was always cool. But it's sad, dude. It's really sad, man. There it is.
Godspeed, sir.
Safe journey, indeed. All right, well, let's get into it. We're going to start out today with something that's not necessarily comic related, but it's more of a public service announcement booster.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. The FDA decided that it's time to ban menthol cigarettes.
Okay.
Yeah. Because Black Lives Matter. You see, and smoking is bad for you, and menthol is extra bad for you, I guess. So Newport's out. It's out. All those
I don't know
menthol
anything about
cigarettes.
cigarettes. What's the difference between regular ones and menthols, or are they all menthol? I don't know anything.
Oh no, they're definitely not menthol. The reason why this is they're doing this is because menthol makes it easier for you to smoke, I guess, because it cuts down on the bitterness,
Harshness.
or the harshness
Yeah.
of the cigarette, I suppose. But the ironic thing is that if you go to America, it's a meme before there were memes. Black people always have Newport in their hand, dude.
It's like black people that smoke 73 to 80% of them smoke menthols.
Yeah, Newports particularly.
Yeah, mostly Newports, yeah.
Mostly Newports.
The Washington Post says banning menthol cigarettes could put black smokers in new kind of danger.
Oh, really? What danger is that? Frustration?
I don't know, but that's an opinion piece on the Washington Post, so they're already
clearly.
making about black people.
Yeah.
There you go.
But they're going full to tilt here. They're really trying to get the FDA. They've tried to do this before. I've read the article here, and they failed. But they're really, really excited that now with Black Lives Matter movement, they might be able to get it done. And it's just, I mean, okay, fine. I mean, I smoke, and I shouldn't. I get it. And there's a full-on, kill smoking, get rid of tobacco. Okay, fine. I'm not against that, but it's just. I mean, talk about wanting to piss black people off more. I mean, because this is their thing, dude. It's culturally identified with them. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's just another Black Lives Matter thing that's trying to cancel black culture. You know what I mean?
Well, it's just going to fail. Drug prohibitions pretty much always do, unless you literally murder the dealers.
Yeah.
That's the only one. That's the only time it ever works. And there's a few places it has worked because that's what they do. They kill it. They kill you for dealing it. They don't play around. You get caught dealing
Asia.
it. They kill you.
Yeah, that's why Asia doesn't have drug problems. Yeah, that's right.
But we're not going to do that over here, obviously. So this is a waste of everybody's time because it's just going to create a massive black market. And you think Newport and all these companies are going to stop selling menthol cigarettes everywhere in the whole globe?
Of course not.
No.
Yeah, of course not.
Of course not.
Although I don't see anyone smoking menthol over here, though. I don't even see them on the
I'm
shelves.
actually surprised there's a lot of. Surprised there's a significant portion of that population that does it at all.
Oh, the other thing they're going to ban is the flavored small cigars that everyone uses as blunts.
Yep.
Going after the marijuana, huh?
Yeah.
Not the devil's lettuce.
Oh, yeah.
All I can say is
my wife
you know that the devil's lettuce, it kills cancer, and it's healthier than drinking. It's healthier than actually breathing.
Oh, we're learning something about Booster today.
Didn't the paragraph right above this picture says it's mainly because of the racist healthcare system we have?
Oh, right. Okay. It's systematic racism,
right there.
Of course. Yeah. Systematic racism. Yeah. Has nothing to do with choice or culture or anything like that. No, of course not.
No.
I've never smoked pot in my life. I'm really fucking lame.
Oh, dude, I smoked mountains of it.
Mountains.
Oh, yeah.
Says.
Oh, yes.
Oh,
yes.
no.
But
and somehow you're still alive, even.
Even, yeah. Well, it was the 80s, to be fair. You go to a party and it was hard for not someone to walk up and hand you a LSD hit or something like that.
It's just the culture.
Get on the school bus.
Even then, yeah, that's right. Yeah. My wife has informed me that menthols do exist here in Japan, but we don't have Newports. So there you go. I've never seen them, baby. Yeah.
Baby. Oh,
Baby.
Well, of course, it's there are other people who smoke menthol. It's just The thing
Women.
about it is such a in America, it is such a cultural thing. Even to the point that you see the hip hop bros wearing like full on Newport jumpers and running gear, right? I've seen it
That
many
is so
times. It's like a gangsta look, right?
that is silly.
It is silly, but I mean,
That's silly as shit.
fashion is fashion. Anyway, I'll move on from
Yeah.
this, but this was brought up like a week ago by the guys, and it's kind of funny.
It's funny. It's very funny.
It's hilarious even. It really makes me chortle.
You get what you pay for, Black America. You
Hey.
get what you pay for.
Oh yeah, they're gonna wake up eventually, dude. I just think it'll be too late by the time they do.
So
Oh, Adrian's not in the chat to be complaining about the article.
That's fair.
Son
He'll get
of a
here
bitch.
eventually. He'll complain about something. Just let me say it, and it'll be all right. But anyway, let's get into the comic book news. We do.
Oh, my
This
favorite
is actually
person.
interesting comic book news. Go ahead, dude.
I'm bursting with fiction. Alan Moore announces 5-volume fantasy
Where you going, babe?
epic.
Okay. Bye. Love you.
Bursting fiction.
I'm sorry. Go
But-
ahead. Go ahead. Yeah, Bursting with Fiction. Alan Moore announces 5-volume
yeah.
fantasy epic. Oh, thank you very much, Booster. I was being distracted by kisses.
What
All
a
right. Yeah, I guess I'll take that.
For
now-
his wife. Yeah.
Yeah, from my wife. Yeah. Now, here's the thing with this, guys, and I seriously, I do want some opinion on this. Alan Moore is an absolute spaced out, crazy ass modern wizard. And this is what he is. This is what he thinks he is.
Yeah.
He's crazy, man, but he's also damn good writer, dude. I mean, everyone talks about the Watchmen and V for Vendetta, which are good. I loved his Swamp Thing.
Yeah,
I mean, it was
Swamp Thing's good.
Yeah.
freaking awesome.
He wrote one of my favorite Superman stories ever, which is For the Man Who Has Everything.
Oh yeah, that
And-
is a good one, dude. Yeah.
He even wrote an apology for Watchmen, which is called Tom Strong. If no one has read that, please read Tom Strong. It's a very fun series.
What does he need to apologize for Watchmen? It was a really good series.
Yeah, no, I love Watchmen as much as the next guy, but there's this culture around comics that came after Watchmen. Yeah,
Uh-huh.
and we got the '90s edgy kind of wave of comics where
Well,
comics
you get
just
the
weren't
British
for
invasion,
kids
yeah.
things or fun anymore. Yeah, and Watchmen is kind of responsible for that wave.
Oh, I
Yeah.
see.
To put it more succinctly, Alan Moore killed the hero. That's what he did.
Well, all those
And he
British
knows-
dudes. Well, yeah, but all those British dudes coming over were very anti-hero.
Yes.
But they.
And he knows he did it too. He even says he regrets it, and he wishes he had not done it
Oh, all
because
right.
he
Fair
realized
enough.
what he did later, and that's why he wrote that book that Booster's talking about.
I
Seriously,
see.
seriously, read Tom Strong, by the way. It's good fun.
I've heard of it. I have never read it
Yeah.
though. But in the headline here, the thing that catches my eye the most is this exclusive: Watchmen and V for Vendetta writer lands 6-figure deal for fantasy quintet long London and short story collection. 6-figure deal. 6-figure deal. Damn, dude,
Lord.
he ain't getting no respect at all. That's not a lot of money if you guys haven't noticed. I don't know if you can count well, Booster, but that's less than $1 million basically, and it's groundbreaking. It's not that groundbreaking.
I wouldn't mind 6 figures.
Well,
Anything,
no, none of us would mind to get an extra 6 figures for our work, but that's not the point. It's not groundbreaking if it's not getting paid at least 7 figures, right? So
True.
that's a bit sad. But
But
anyway,
what's Alan Moore's name today? If we're being realistic.
well, I understand that, but
Can you scroll back up for me real quick? Stop right there.
Yeah.
Look at that sidebar there. I'm assuming it was talking about his retirement. The king of comics? No.
no, he's very good though. He's highly
Yeah, but
respected. He's famous.
He's nowhere near the king. That's a preposterous title, headline, whatever.
That would be
preposterous, I say.
Stan Lee. I'm pretty
He
sure.
wrote
Stan's the
a
king.
few.
Yeah.
Yeah, he wrote a few good comics. Stan Lee created a fucking universe.
He created the comic book industry,
He
basically,
did.
recreated
The
it.
modern recreated it. Yeah. Well, after the Comic Code Authority, comics were in a bad way, and it was
Yes.
his rebellious nature, along with Kirby and Ditto. What's his name? Ditto.
Go.
Ditko. Yeah.
Go.
That-
Ditto.
that their rebellion pushed back against it, and they did save comic books. That's true. But I don't have anything negative to say about Alan Moore. He's a crazy guy, but I like his work. League of Extraordinary Gentlemen is absolutely gorgeous. The Killing Joke, come on. I mean, I'm glad
The
he's.
problem with Alan Moore is that everybody now has been trying to be Alan Moore, and very, very, very few have got anywhere near it. And because of that, because of his take on what you said, like the anti-hero,
Yeah.
The more dark hero, the more mature hero, nobody's been able to catch that lightning in the bottle, not really, like he did. And we've had, what, 3 decades now of people just continuously trying to... Now I don't know what the hell they're trying to do. But when they were still trying...
When they were still
that
trying.
were trying to
5
do...
years, 6 years ago.
Yeah, trying to do what he was doing, and it's never been good. I mean, there've been a couple that are okay, but in the process, we lost what the comic book hero was supposed to represent.
Yeah, Tom King.
Yeah, Jesus. Tom King's a great example. He's desperate to try and create these deep and brooding heroes with all this angst and psychology, and he's shit at it.
Well, he's just
He's
writing
terrible
for
at
reference.
Doing it with characters that fucking aren't his.
That's, yeah, that's one thing that does irritate me a little bit. Hellrod says Kirby was king, Lee was court jester. That's not true at all,
Boys
dude.
know.
Kirby was maybe the king of artists, but Stan Lee literally recreated the comic book industry and brought it into the modern era. His legwork, just constantly promoting comic books, it's insane. The dude never stopped.
Did you know that Watchmen was supposed to be the Charlton comics characters? So instead of Night Owl, it was supposed to be Ted Kord as Blue Beetle, right? Instead of Rorschach, it was supposed to be the Question,
Really?
so on and so forth. Yeah. But when he told them that he had planned to kill the Question, he was asked to use his own characters.
Well, I'm glad.
Oh.
Yeah.
I'm glad. I wouldn't want it to be DC characters. The fact that they're different makes it better, more interesting, separate.
Mm-hmm.
Huh?
Mm-hmm.
Wrightson was a master. There's many, dude. We don't have many these days, but there are many. Yeah, many. But in no way can you take anything away from Stan.
No.
He is literally a cultural icon. All these other people here that you're mentioning, we know who they are, but everybody knows who Stan Lee is.
Yep.
Yeah.
I mean,
not just because of the movies. He was known in pop culture before that.
Oh yeah, because he never shut up. He was always going around promoting Marvel
And
constantly.
For me, growing up at the peak of comic book popularity, which will probably, I hope it is, but it'll probably never be that popular again. Stan Lee's voice was comic books.
Yeah.
He was the voice of comic books for all companies, even if it was a competitor. That's who he was. He was the avatar of the entire industry. And though he's irreplaceable. It's just that I don't care how good of a writer someone is or an artist someone was. And there was a lot of writers better than him. But he was the guy. That's it. He was literally Stan the man. That's who he was.
Yeah, it's more than the character development and writing and stuff. It's way more than that. Although he was very accomplished at that as well. But no, I mean, Eric and I, we certainly grew up with Stan Lee in our face all the time. I mean, he was always on the TV. He was always in magazines. He was just constantly not shutting up about Marvel, dude. And they're here today because of that. And this, to be fair, the comic book industry in America needs another Stan Lee. That's what they need.
Yeah, badly.
Because they went and screwed the pooch. And I know there's a lot of arguments about here Alan Moore, the British invasion. Although I say Frank Miller had a hand in that as well. But you also have the other idea, which I think is more important, with them switching to the diamond format and pulling out of pharmacies and various things like that, which was a huge mistake. In Europe and in Japan or actually Asia, it's well-established situation. You can pick up comics everywhere, and it just kind of chugs along. America, it shot itself in the face, is what it did, the comic book industry. So they need someone to come back and revitalize it. And the sad thing is there are a couple of people who could do it. One namely person who could do it, Kevin Feige. He supposedly loves comic books, right?
Supposedly.
That's the story we're told.
Well, you can feel it from the earlier stuff. You can feel it. But I mean, he could be a ambassador for comic books in America, but he's got his head so far up his ass. It's how disappointed I am. Booster, do you understand how disappointed I am?
How disappointed? Tell me.
I'm so disappointed that I really feel like beating you twice a day just to get my frustration out.
I probably have it coming, so
Yeah, it's fair.
it makes sense to me.
In fairness, I have met you, and yeah, you do.
Hmm.
I agree with Rod's second statement here. If you want to be the next Alan Moore, write a positive Christ archetype hero like 1940s Superman. I'm assuming what he means is somebody to have the clout like an Alan Moore. For whatever reason, there's many different, but the main one is because they're incapable. Current writers in comic books, and I'm talking about basically everybody. I'm not talking about just the big two, everyone. No one can write the classic hero anymore. I don't know why. It's not that complicated. We've all read the classic hero stories. We've all grown up with Superman. Our parents grew up with Superman, for Christ's sake.
Yeah.
And
grandparents even, dude.
Yeah, in some cases, yeah, great grandparents in some cases. He's been around for almost 100 years. There's plenty of reference material. That's what it's going to take. If the comic book industry in America is going to be saved from becoming a completely niche thing, it already basically is, but like a super niche thing, almost a cottage industry, and basically just an IP farm for movies. If it's going to become anything else and be saved from it, it's going to be done on the back of a great character.
Yeah,
that's what'll do it. It's not going to be an artist. It's not going to be anything else. The reason Stan Lee became so popular is because he made great characters.
Yeah.
Characters that people believed in, that resonated with them, of all ages, that were realistic enough, right? Obviously, ridiculous stuff was happening, but Peter Parker, the reason why he was so popular is because he struggled like a normal person.
Yeah, and the thing is, if you
he was relatable.
He was relatable, and if you just take a half a step back and think about Spider-Man, it's a dumbass name, dude.
It's a really bad name. I agree. I've always
that's what they told Stan. They said that's stupid. You can't call a character Spider-Man.
But it's
people
iconic.
Are scared of spiders. You can't do that.
Well, it is. I mean, but he was right. He was right, and I kind of wonder what would happen. What would have happened if Alan didn't lose his mind and actually stayed in the industry, pumping out more hits? Where it would have led us? But and because he seemed to have
weird about it, movie adaptations.
Well, a lot of them
movie adaptations are so weird.
He's an artist.
Yes.
An artiste.
I think what would have happened if he would have stayed at his same level that he was at for a while there, the same stuff would have all happened, except he would have been able to probably get the reins on a bigger character.
Yeah.
And do what we're saying. Because he really, truly, you can find interviews for years. He's talked about it. He regrets making what he made because he knows what it did. Not because it was bad work or he wasn't proud of it, but because what came after it was a massive depression in the very character that is comic books and the character of the comic book hero.
Yeah.
He killed it, and he knows he did, and he regrets it. So I think he would probably be the only one who could fix it, but he's, like you said, he's a little off his rocker.
He's a Looney Tunes, yeah. And I do apologize that the Guardian is existing on this channel. It's Somali's fault, our Scandinavian friend. Don't blame me. But it's a good story, Somali. Thank you very much. Because you don't see any of the American ones talking about this because this is something that's happening over in Britain, right? It's not have anything to do with our comic books. He's doing his own little thing, which is fine. But I just thought it would spark conversation, and it did. Yeah, it did.
Wow.
Yeah. Anyway, let's move on. We got a lot to talk about, so I don't want to get stuck in one place too long. Oh my God.
What do we have here? Kevin Feige says Doctor Strange cut from WandaVision because he's white and a male.
Yeah. Now you guys been yelling at me for a while, saying Chester Kevin Feige says SJW he's got to ruin the movies in stage 4, and I'm like, give him a chance, give him a chance. Okay. Thundero likes using.
We can't trust you with that anymore.
Not anymore. Yeah. But this is pretty bad, dude. Let me read it. I'm actually going to read an article.
Tell me he was correct again, Chester.
Who?
Mr. Fi. No,
Eric?
wait, no, Fundaro even.
Eric?
Fundaro being
I'm going to give
correct.
Eric credit for that one.
I know, Chester. It's like vinegar down your throat. It's okay.
Anyway, let's go here. According to MovieWeb, Feige spoke with Brian Hyatt from Rolling Stone about WandaVision and Marvel Studios' initial plan to include Doctor Strange in the show. Apparently, Doctor Strange was supposed to be communicating with Wanda via the commercials that were seen throughout the show, like the Toaster Mate scene in episode 1 and Strucker Watch scene in episode 2. However, Strange was cut from the show, and Feige explains why. He stated, "Some people might say, oh, it would have been so cool to see Doctor Strange, but it would have taken away from Wanda. We didn't want the end of the show to be commoditized to go to the next movie, where the white guys basically saying, 'Let me show you how power works,'" he added. All right. So here's the thing, Kevin. Doctor Strange is the Sorcerer Supreme. She is a young, confused mutant who's going through extreme trauma because her love has just had his head ripped open by her. She could certainly use a little guidance from the Sorcerer fucking Supreme, Kevin.
And she realized she's been fucking a toaster this whole time.
Yeah, well, that's a whole nother conversation. But I mean, it's ridiculous. The fact that he is male or white has nothing to do with anything. He is a position of authority that could be helpful to her, but we're not going to add him because he's white and male. Go to hell, white male man, right? And
Well,
no, more
leave the
important
postal
than this.
service out of this.
Well, they also added here that they had to rewrite Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness too because of their pulling him out of it. And we've said here from the beginning that next Doctor Strange movie is going to be all about Wanda. It's going to be her movie. Why don't they just call it Wanda or Scarlet Witch? I mean, honestly, because and I think Thundera was right in his earlier comment. Go ahead, dude.
Which comment did I make?
Regarding the life expectancy of Mr. Strange.
Oh, no, yeah, Doctor Strange is dead. They're going to kill Stephen Strange. If not in this movie, it'll be very, very soon in the next one that he's in. So they can bring in some diversity checkbox to be the Sorcerer Supreme.
Yeah.
Absolutely. 100%. That's happening. He won't make it to the next Avengers movie. I'd be surprised if he does.
And he probably wants out anyway.
Yeah. Which is a shame because he's absolutely perfect. He is the perfect casting for Doctor Strange. I mean, look at him. Look at that. He look just like that's okay. I know exactly who that is just by looking at it. He's perfect.
Yeah, no, I thought he did a good job. Yeah, so there you go. That's the final nail for me. I haven't seen Eternals. I haven't seen the stuff yet to make a judgment on that. But yeah, that's what else needs to be said. I mean, honestly, what more do you need?
Kevin Feige is an evil racist because he's not a white man. He's a Jewish man, and he hates white men.
Well, fair enough. I mean,
he's an evil, bigoted, racist piece of shit, and I hope something bad happens to him.
Well, I don't.
Simple as,
I'm not inherently violent. But it is interesting how many times I do hear Jewish people in America.
I'm sorry, what?
What?
You're not inherently violent?
No, not me. But
okay.
It's interesting to me how many times I hear Jewish people in America kind of subtly state their frustration at being considered white.
Oh, they do. Yeah.
They don't.
There's like a whole subculture of, especially like in Israel, where they have literal songs about how they're not white, they're Jewish. They'll sing about it. They have festivals or whatever, like parties about it. They do not consider themselves white. A lot of them, at least the big majority of them, don't seem to. They consider themselves Jewish first.
I have a big shock for them. Their heritage comes out of modern day France.
Yeah, they don't care.
I mean, they were in the Middle East for quite a while, and in down in Egypt for even longer. So they certainly got some mixing in their blood there, and there's certain Jews that look more Middle Eastern or than others, but their ancestry is as white as you get, right? You don't get much whiter than the Gallic areas, right?
Mm.
So
Yeah, no,
shocking. Sorry.
Feige's nonsense here, and it's preposterous. The excuse he gives is preposterous. So he says he didn't want to take attention away from Wanda or something to that effect.
Which desperately
Oh,
needed it.
desperately needed that because now the show has. What was the point of it? What was
Yeah.
the point of that?
and and now I understand better why it was such a dud, because they
Yep.
pulled out an important element. Clearly, Doctor Strange was going to be instrumental in trying to pull her back to reality, and you take that completely out, and now it doesn't make sense what's going on, why, how, what.
Yep.
That's why it dudded. If they had left it in there, it would have made a lot more sense and wouldn't have confused people.
And it would have easily set up the movie that we all know. We all know she's going to be in. They already announced it, so it's not like it was a secret. So why
Yeah.
not? Why would you say you don't want it to commoditize or whatever he said it? Another thing, another movie or whatever. That's what the MCU is. It's what it's always been. It's to tell this story so they can get to the next story. The whole thing was for 10 years was leading to Thanos. Every movie on the damn thing was about getting to Thanos. Every one of them.
Yep, that's true.
So what are you talking about, Feige? You absolute lying piece of human shit.
Well, here's the thing,
That is
though.
a lie.
It is a lie, dude. But I mean, more importantly, okay, you're pulling Doctor Strange out. Why didn't you replace it with something like, say, T'Challa from Wakanda? It's technologically based. You could have done that. You could have switched it to a black dude. Anything. But they didn't do it. They just cut it.
Yeah. It just ends with, oh, she has this book now, and she knows she has her name. Oh, okay, that was a waste of time. I mean, it was still pretty good. It was still enjoyable to watch, like on its own. But it doesn't need to exist at all. It's just felt like a waste of time after I was done watching it.
Yeah, and a lot of people did. Yeah, because it didn't have that connecting tissue. Alan says the Ashkenazi Jews are Aryans. Yeah, they are. But people don't understand what the word Aryan means. Aryan is not a race of people. It is a class of people. Aryan is the word that was used for priesthood. And we know through genetic testing and stuff that the Jews, especially the Ashkenazi Jews, are a priesthood that has stayed cogent and genetically pure over the millennia. So yes, they were Aryans. They were the priesthood. That's right. But they're coming out of the Northern Europe is where they're coming out of. That's their ancestry. But I mean, it's just interesting, as we had already mentioned, how many Jews really don't like being associated with being white, even though that is their heritage. So, whatever. I don't care one way or the other. I'm just saying they care.
Chester's heritage is Sasquatch.
Mine is Sasquatch. That's fair enough.
No, I don't particularly care either, except they continuously make me care.
Yeah.
Because they're continuously attacking white men. That was an attack on every white man on the planet. He doesn't want you in his little show because you're not good enough, because reasons.
Yeah.
That's what it was. There's no reason to sugarcoat it or pretend it was something else or laugh it off. White men gotta stop laughing it off. We gotta, because it's just gonna get worse. And it's been getting worse.
Yeah. And I don't know who she is, guys. Maybe it's this woman. I don't know. They have the same exact nose.
Wait, Chester, what are you implying? Oh no, Booster's awfully quiet. I think we scared him.
I think we did. Anyway, I don't want to spend all day on it, but fuck you, Kevin.
Yeah, all the way. All the way.
It's just stupid thinking, dude. It's illogical. He is a authority. You had to dumb down Doctor Strange so much just so he would fit into your MCU movies, because he's way more powerful than all of them. right? Now, him against Thanos, that's a much more fair battle. But
Yeah.
and Thanos with the gauntlet is certainly going to win that. But you had to dumb him down a lot, even though he's still a major authority, full of knowledge and wisdom, a guiding hand that would have been able to help Wanda in her situation, and that's why the writers wrote it that way. Yeah.
Yeah, because it makes sense.
Because it makes sense. But then you pull it out, and now it doesn't make sense. Shock. Now, but this is good though, because now it answers my question why WandaVision sucked. I get it now. They pulled out one of the major elements of it and didn't even think to replace it. It's so dumb, Eric. I mean, why? Why
Yeah,
didn't
it's
they just
pretty
put
dumb.
T'Challa or something in there?
T'Challa's dead, so yeah, they could have put someone in there. Could have found something to other than just go, hey, oh, we left all these commercials in here and they're supposed to mean something. Let's just leave them there. And yeah, there was definitely something missing from the episodes, and then now reading this, you know why.
Yeah.
You know, I'm starting to wonder, like Thundero said, you know, he was using this as an excuse. Do you think he's like they might kill off Doctor Strange, and they keep talking about diversity? It's just to get cheaper actors in these roles, so save themselves money. They really don't care about diversity.
Oh well, that's
we know
an argument for a while. Yeah,
a lot of them don't actually care about that stuff. Yeah, it's all it's basically just PR. That's all it is. Basically marketing. And I literally have studies done by huge firms that do market studies on this stuff. Basically, calling the study does. This is not my words. This is a quote. Non-white folks and hard left-leaning folks, good consumers, which is code word for dumb, because they'll buy anything.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. But whatever, Kevin. I mean, oh, Jesus, dude.
Fuck off, Kevin.
Fuck off, Kevin. I mean, honestly, if he had stayed the course from what he was doing initially and just stuck to that, you could be a liberal, dude. There's nothing wrong with being a liberal in and of itself. But if he just stayed the course, he would have been consistently loved throughout America and a hero, right? But no, they just can't. They can't help themselves, dude. They can't help themselves. Jiminy says, when, as a cis white male, is Feige going to resign and give his position to an LGBT female or of color? Hashtag racism. Yeah. Why did you remove that, Jiminy? I was enjoying it. But fair enough. Fair enough. Anyway, let's move on.
Booster!
Here.
Was Booster here? Did Booster die? Boosty!
Bustier?
He might be eating a meat pie.
Oh,
Razor.
Oh,
God, meat pies. Razor Fist endorses Arctoons as 4 new series are added.
Now, we talked about this, and I am going to read some of these books, and we'll review them, talk about them. Now, Razor Fist, of course, over at Rageaholic, is that what he calls his channel?
Yes.
Razor Fist is a very interesting fellow. Loves heavy metal, loves comic books, loves movies. He could easily have been a politician or a pundit of some kind, quite easily. The man is quite intelligent. His oratory skills are impressive. I mean, shockingly impressive. The speed at which his wit works and the ability to speak. He could have done different things, and what he's doing, he seems to be happy and fine. But he's quite a bit of an enigma to me, because of all those skills, he basically gets up, curses every fifth word, is radically vulgar, but he's also usually right on point. Right on point. But just for Razor Fist. But of course, more people talk about Arctoons, sorry. We talked about this yesterday, and it's getting attention, dude. It's getting attention. So we have a book here, kind of mocking Mao Zedong, I guess.
You notice that number keeps changing. That annoys me.
Oh, the number that should be closer to 300 million. That's 78 million.
Yeah. It's preposterous. This is what happens when you let the communists stay in charge of history. Apparently,
yeah,
they are
edited
down.
Yeah. I wonder if Booster had an aneurysm.
I don't know. He's not answering.
He might have. It's
He
okay.
might have just had to take a poo and just had to go. Sometimes it happens.
Well, these books we looked at yesterday, this right here is one that Chuck Dixon is doing, kind of an old throwback to something I'm sure Chuck is happy to be doing. The only new one is the Mao Zedong one, but cool. Why not? Something interesting. I just wanted to mention it again here on the comics news today, and the fact that Razorfist is putting some muscle behind it, and that's not a small amount of muscle. I just clicked on one of the Arcatoon comics, and it opened with a Rand quote about socialism, followed by a complete worldwide death toll of every communist dictator. I do believe I found the right publisher. Oh, there you go, dude. Yeah, he is a Randian, isn't he?
He is. He does like him some Ayn Rand, yeah.
Yeah.
Objectivism.
Well, she was right, dude. Like 100% right. She predicted all this shit. You have to give her credit for that, dude.
Of course. No, I like the sorry, I got distracted. I like the arcade, especially that big splash page that they have with all their characters.
Yeah.
That just that right there, more so than the anti-communist stuff, that tickles my comic book bone, I guess is the worst way to put it.
Well, it does. Yeah.
It's just something that we just it looks like they're very proud of their universe. And that is refreshing, to put it mildly.
Well, that's
because if Feige was like Feige, yes, exactly. If Feige was as big of a fan of comics as we've all been told he is, he wouldn't be disrespecting Doctor Strange that way. Regardless of the race stuff, that was a disrespect to the character to do that to him.
It was, and it was disrespectful to the fans as well. Jeff says Razorfist was wrong about Don Dokken. I'm way behind on watching his Metal Mythos. I do enjoy those. I've seen a few of them. I want to watch all of them. They're on my list. So I will get to that Metal Mythos, I'm sure. But I don't know. But Don Dokken is a bit of a douche. So I don't know what he said about him, but I know Dokken's a douche. Prima donna from hell is what he is. But anyway, we grew up with Dokken, so there it is. But I will go watch that though, Jeff. I do want to watch his Metal Mythos. Have you seen any of those, Eric? Any of the Metal Mythos from Razorfist?
No, I haven't. I haven't even heard of him.
Yeah, I think you'd appreciate him.
So he's on YouTube?
He is. I think it's called the Rageaholic is his channel. And I think you'd appreciate him, dude. His oratory skills are radically impressive. They really are. I mean, I speak for a living. That's my job, right? I mean, I do all kind of stuff as well, but I mean, mainly I'm speaking in front of people. So because of that, I've developed my oratory skills over the years, obviously, just like anybody else that does my job. He's another level of thing, though. Yeah. You should go check him out.
Oh, yeah. I'm looking at some of the thumbnails. That looks pretty cool.
Yeah, and like
I especially like this one. D. Snyder is a dehydrated sack.
Well, Dean's got himself a little bit liberalized here for some reason, which is weird. If we do recall, he's the one that turned that tide against old Tipper Gore with his.
Oh yeah, back in the day when we were kids.
Yeah. But anyway, I think you would like it, and like I said, I really enjoy his Metal Mythos. I've only seen like 3 maybe. I want to see the rest of them. But anyway,
I'm gonna subscribe now.
I think you should. You would appreciate his diatribe, I think. Yeah. But anyway, Arkan Haven or Arkan Tunes. I'm going to check them out, man. This is getting more and more interesting, and it's starting to get some real attention. I mean, you're sitting on his page, Eric. What is he? 1 million, 2 million subs, or 500,000? What's his sub rate?
It is 287,000.
Okay. But Razor shows up on a lot of other much bigger channels often. I mean, he has attention on him, so that's only going to help. So I'll rock on. All right, let's move on. Now, has Butcher come back yet? No.
Nope, I don't know where he went.
Something happened to him, poor boy.
Either that or we've angered him, and he just can't bear to speak to us.
Well, I tend to do that not knowing. People get upset with me all the time, Thunder.
Yeah,
Yeah, I hear that all the time. Yeah.
Yeah.
you're kind of a prick, Chester. I don't know what to tell you, but
I'm not a prick. I'm just exist in my space, bitches.
Now, if I recall, before you move on to the next story, yesterday when I was listening, these books will not be in stores, but they'll be digital, right?
Yeah, it's a
yes.
webtoon series. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's right.
Okay.
Yeah,
All right.
yeah,
All right.
yeah. Basically, you pay $5 a month, and you get access to everything in the library. And it looks like there's going to be at least a book a day, and more than likely 2 or 3 a day. From looking at
Cool.
what are
Okay.
they up to? They're up to
Nice.
26 comics right now, something like that.
Wow, that's crazy.
So I'm sure their goal is to
Cool
get
for
to
them.
30. Huh? It's Vox
Very
Day.
cool for them.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was going to say that. I didn't want anyone to hear that coming out of my mouth.
Jeff says Razor is a power to be reckoned on Twitter. He is, dude. He's an interesting human being. Anyway, go ahead, Thunder.
Round 2, Demon Slayer defeats Mortal Kombat in second week at box office. Yeah, Mortal Kombat's not doing hot. It's not doing well.
Yeah, and there's been a lot of complaints about the rumors of what the second one's going to include. I'm going to wait and talk about that when we have more concrete information, but it sounds like they're going in a very dumb direction for Mortal Kombat. You know how we were talking about Liu Kang? He's our dude, right? That's the main hero. It's going to be one of the ladies, dude.
Of course it is.
Yeah.
They did that in one of the games recently too, and it worked. It went over like a sack of hammers.
Yeah.
And they reverted because they learned their lesson. Put it that way.
Well, the movie hasn't. It sounds like, and I don't understand. I mean, Liu Kang he's a yellow man. Doesn't he get a little extra credit for being a yellow man? No,
He's too white, apparently.
I guess. Oh well. But I'm really interested in the fact that Demon Slayer is kicking ass in America so well, because I saw the movie over here in Japan long ago, and the series is much better than the movie. I thought the movie was well, the series is kind of for me, but it's not my thing. But I'm really impressed that it's doing so well, though. But I guess if I step back for a second and just think about it, it's just a story. No politics, no opinion. It's just a straight up simple story. It's basically a battle on a train. That's it, right? And maybe that's why. It's just good old entertainment. I don't know. Are you guys still here? Am I alone or something?
You are
Yeah,
not.
we're here.
We're here. We're listening to you ramble about stories.
Yeah, well,
I am not surprised. Anime, manga, all that has become humongous over here.
yeah.
And so it's not shocking to me that one of those would happen. What does surprise me is they keep trying live action Mortal Kombat, and it, keeps failing. So
Yeah.
why don't they make a really cool animated Mortal
They
Kombat?
did. They did.
They did?
Yeah, I've seen it.
An
Yeah.
anime Mortal Kombat that
Yep.
exists?
Yep. I have watched it. It was like a big old battle in a
Really?
city. Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah. I don't know that it was better, but it exists. Yeah. I think Mortal Kombat, as with many video games, they don't translate well into story format because they're not stories. I mean, Mortal Kombat has a backstory, sure, but basically it's just a fighting game, dude. I mean, it doesn't lend itself to storytelling. Because if you do actual storytelling, you have to just tell a story, and then it's not really related to Mortal Kombat anymore. And I think this is the reason why video game movies just don't do well. They don't succeed, right? And it is what it is. But it sounds like they're just going to frustrate people more and more. And that's one of those gamer dudes. They don't play games, man. They do not back up whatsoever, and they're not going to be happy. They're not happy as it is. So there it is. Anyway, let's move on from that. This I thought was pretty interesting. Go ahead.
AT&T reportedly looking to offload struggling Rooster Teeth.
Now, I didn't even know Rooster Teeth was still in existence, dude.
Nor did I.
Yeah.
I saw a commercial for something just yesterday with them in it.
Well,
Produced by Rooster Teeth or something like that. I don't remember what it was.
well, no,
I
I
was watching
can't.
HBO.
What was the channel, Eric, that they started out on Machinima? Um, it wasn't Rooster Teeth. It had another name. They changed their name to Rooster Teeth during the whole Machinima, nonsense that was going on.
I can't remember what it was, but yeah, I know what you're talking about.
And then they came out with this Ruby series here, the girl based thing, which is fine. But Rooster Teeth used to be really cool. Those guys, they were funny, and then they got woke, and then they weren't funny anymore. Yeah, I used to
Yep.
watch. Well, way back when my son was young, we used to watch their channel before they were. I can't remember what they called before they were called Rooster Teeth, and we laughed, dude. They were funny, and then they got woke. The fact that AT&T is starting to sell shit off doesn't surprise me at all.
No.
Do keep in mind, DC Comics is up for sale as well, and that's not a joke. It's happening, dude. AT&T's is going to cut Warner Brothers into pieces, and they're going to sell them off, dude. That's what they do, and maybe that's what needs to happen, right?
Yeah. No, I think that's I think that would probably be for the best. I know people don't want to hear it, but the reality is they've become just untenable. They just have. So
Yeah.
I think that's probably what will happen. It'll probably get chopped up and sold.
Yeah, no, I think we're definitely going to see it broken into little pieces. Um, uh, Roger says, "Can anyone tell me what Rooster Teeth is? I never heard of it." They started out as this group of dudes on Machinima. Machinima, I don't even know how to describe Machinima. It was like an internet thing that was trying to be YouTube-like, I guess. I guess that's the best way to kind of explain it.
They just had little like animation videos, usually based off video games or taken directly from video games.
Yeah, no, these
You tell the
guys did just a little chat amongst themselves and talking about video games and other things, but they were just goofing off, being being goofballs, and they were funny.
story.
They were raw, and their sense of humor was quite edgy. Then something happened with Machinima. I don't even know exactly, but it kind of got bought up, I think, by Warner Brother, and things were changing, so they changed the name to Rooster Teeth. And then all of a sudden they got some big success with this creation of this show, Ruby, RWBY. It's quite popular, I guess. I've never watched it. Red versus
No, I've
Blue is
never
a
even
big
heard of
thing
that.
for
I knew
me.
Red
Yeah,
versus Blue.
yeah.
Hmm.
I just can't remember what they were called, what their name was before they would change to Rooster Teeth. But they got super woke, dude. They got really, really woke. They used to be funny. It's like Jimmy Kimmel, right? Jimmy Kimmel was never funny, but he's kind of a good side guy. And he used to do a lot of, like, remember he was on the Man Show, and they did all kind of inappropriate shit on that show. And then what happened? Jimmy Kimmel got woke, and he got very unfunny, right? So I don't know. I don't know what happened to him. I'm not surprised. Ruby was a success. It has a video game adaptation as well as a board game one. So it's certainly big enough for those things. And I'm sure this will continue to exist in and of itself, no matter what happens to Rooster Teeth. Just really, I'm drawing a complete blank on what they used to call themselves. Man, it's irritating me. But anyway.
I don't even see it on their on the Wikipedia either.
Well, I think because they shut down their entire thing on Machinima, and then they kind of reformed themselves as Rooster Teeth. Same dudes. They came back with a few extra people, but it was the same guys. So maybe Rooster Teeth is a completely separate thing for what they were doing technically. Yes, I agree, Dave. But Jimmy Kibble, that's funny. But anyway, this is the beginning of it. I think we're going to see Warner Brothers getting cut into all kind of pieces. And here's the curious thing: we know that they're trying to sell DC Comics, and there's a couple of people that are up. You got the Walking Dead guy, and you have the Diamond Publishing guy. That and probably more than that than we know of. But are they going to sell just the comic book, or are they going to sell the entire rights of DC Universe? What do you think?
If I was them, I'd just sell it all. I'd cash it out because I don't know, man. I just don't see a huge upside unless somebody gets in there and rights the ship hard.
And I don't think they have anybody to do that, dude. Hamada certainly isn't going to do it, for damn sure.
No.
Right.
So what I would recommend doing first, if I was them, is I would sell off as many of the assets as I can while still keeping control of the IP.
Yeah, maybe.
And then eventually sell off the IPs too, because the IPs is where the money's at.
Yeah, no, that's true. And that's what Marvel basically has done, what Disney has basically done. They don't care about the comic at all. That's quite clear. They're not even paying attention to it. The Man Show was all about Adam Carolla. Ray Lewis says, yeah, it was. But my point was Jimmy Kimmel was a good sidekick to Adam. He functions well in that setting, right? It's kind of like, I won't make, you guys wouldn't get that reference. You're way too young. But yeah, no, he was a good sidekick to Adam Carolla. That's my point. Sorry,
What were you going to say?
Ed, Johnny Carson.
You going to say Johnny Carson and Ed
McMahon? Yeah. But right, because Ed was just a lump on a couch.
You're right.
Right.
Yeah.
But he served the purpose, right? Anyway, let's move on here. This is just wonderful news. Go ahead.
Booster, are you alive? Nope, he's still dead. Nonprofit associated with the cancellation of Dr. Seuss teams up with Google to create, good lord, to create an anti-racist book list for K through 12 teachers.
Okay, so this is going to ultimately end up with Scholastic, I am sure. And of course, Dr. Seuss is canceled, and this is an attempt to not only cancel just 4 books that they pulled out, but to cancel Dr. Seuss in his entirety. Even though Dr. Seuss basically is a bunch of alien little creatures and it doesn't have anything to do with any particular race, we have to cancel Dr. Seuss because he in himself was a white man, although I think he's Jewish. But whatever, white man, right? And let's see what are they going to replace it with. Let's look at this list up here in the thumbnail. So what do we got? Grace Byers, I Am Enough. Okay, that's good. Believe in yourself. All right. All because you matter. Oh, you're special. There's more of that crap. I am every good thing. Okay. The Whispering Town Dreamers, we are water protectors. Okay, these seem more like just kind of entertainment things, but these 3 right here are all about you are special and increasing integrity of children. Now, we can have a conversation whether that's a good thing to do or not, or how it's handled in the book, because I can't read it. But the idea of canceling Dr. Seuss with all black people things is dumb. Why not just offer both, right? But more important to that is, do you guys think that the black community's children have a problem with self-identity? Because it seems kind of the opposite to me. How many little black kids you go to see on the news or on showing up somewhere on the internet with opinions that are like 20 years their senior, right? So
yeah, no, I was just thinking about your question. I would say a little bit, yeah, but at the same time, no one's asking that question about the little white kids, which is who they're trying to disenfranchise. By the way, now they're attacking your children, white people.
Yeah, but
just keep pretending it's not happening.
Well, they are doing that. I want to put that on the side, though.
Book list.
I'm going to get to it in a second. I'm just looking at the thumbnail here. But I get your point, Thunder. But to a side, I'm wondering, because just off the cuff, looking at it, things that are promoting, believe in yourself and things like that. That's not bad at all, right? And the thing is, I have no trouble with this. Making books specifically for black kids or Chinese kids or Muslim kids or what have you. There's nothing wrong with that whatsoever. Go ahead, please do. But don't replace something else.
Well, that's my point.
Yeah, I mean,
in
that's
order
ridiculous.
To do it, they have to rip down a man who is synonymous with Western culture.
Yeah, and a good man at that. A good man.
Yes.
Yeah.
So that's why it's ridiculous, and the fact that they say it's anti-racist. Okay, it's anti-racist. I only see one race represented in any one of those books. Yeah, so does anti-racist just mean not white? Is that what that means? There's no white people allowed?
Well, it shouldn't be.
And apparently no.
With that. You're right.
Apparently no little weird alien creatures that don't really have a race, like Dr.
Right,
Seuss's
yeah.
stuff,
Well,
aren't allowed either.
it shouldn't be used as a cudgel as what they're trying to do with this, because just of its own, there's nothing wrong with it whatsoever. If you want to make black focused books, please do. There's nothing wrong with that
Yes.
at all. And actually, the little Afro girl here is pretty cute. But well drawn, it looks like. Some of this art is not bad at all. But anyway, the nonprofit organization, The Conscious Kid, has teamed up with Google's charity arm in an attempt to provide K through 12 teachers with an anti-racist book list as aid for their lectures, reports the Daily Wire's Chrissy Clark. Now, keep in mind that's Ben Shapiro's thing. All right, well, that little paragraph in itself is troublesome without problem. The Conscious Kid creating stuff for black kids. All right, cool, rock on. Google's charity, my ass. But here's the thing: K through 12 teachers with an anti-racist book list. There are. Show me a kid's book that is racist, please. I mean, honestly.
I could probably write you one if you'd like, but
no.
I don't think there's one that actually exists as of now. At least not in wide circulation anyway. But I bet you if you read those, there's some pretty heavy anti-whiteness messaging in there. So you could say probably these books they're pushing are probably very racially bigoted towards white people.
Ray Thulu, you can't give me shit on that. I went and checked it yesterday, and you guys are right. She's not cute at all. You cannot give me shit on that. I will not take it.
No, I don't know why anyone, if you have children, if you have the means especially, would send their children to these mind-devouring, psychopathic generating places known as public schools.
Yeah,
we need to do a TFT on the public school system in America and how evil it is. That's what we need to do. Because most people don't know where it comes from or what it was designed to do.
Well, that's why homeschooling is just gone up in incredible amounts. This first list we are looking up here, what's wrong with that? This all looks fine, looks good. But coming down here, now we start getting into problems here. Homemade love, what does that mean? I'm confused. Bob Marley, every little thing. Okay. Woke baby, kiss my ass.
Woke baby.
Woke baby.
But this organization is most known for attacking Dr. Seuss. That's what they are. These are the ones that made the accusation that caused people to overreact and do what they did. They're best known for their cat is out of the bag, Orientalism, anti-blackness, and white supremacy in Dr. Seuss' children's book. Well, first of all, none of that's true. So, liar. They did put, well, it was 6 books, not 4. They shouldn't have pulled them anyway. Idiots. Let's see. Do they add anything else here? No. Lupita Nyong'o's Sulwe. I don't know what that is. Miles Morales. How does he fall into that? He's a Latino. Leave him out of it.
Go back up. Right there. So the Daily Wire also points out that the Conscious Child's website also features a book titled Kamala and Maya's Big Idea,
which they're giving out in order, by the way.
And also, just so we're clear, I get to say I was right. Look at the title right there. Not quite Snow White. Now, what do you think that's a reference to? Think that's a reference to the color of snow?
No, it's probably a ethnic version of some European story. But whatever. Should I click on this? I'm going to click on it. I probably shouldn't have done that.
Don't do it.
Here we go. Oh, they got Kamala Harris's big idea. Oh, there it is. All right. Now the thing is, Kamala's an Indian lady, but she's written a black book. Isn't that appropriation? I thought that would be appropriation.
She's whatever race they need her to be. She's just the right shade of brown that they can just mix her in with whatever they need to get the result they want.
Yeah. Here's the thing, though. I don't mind Kamala writing a book with her daughter or niece or whatever she is. That's fine. The fact that they're giving them out on the border, that's a problem. That's definitely a
Yeah,
problem.
that's
Um,
obvious corruption.
but here we have a hate group that went and attacked a beloved individual because they know they can and they could profit off it, and here they are profiting.
A
And
man whose simple children's books about basic moral lessons and acceptance of others has done more good for the world than probably any force save, positive Christian charities. And I'm not being hyperbolic there.
yeah,
Because how many people were raised off of the stories they learned out of a Dr. Seuss book?
that's right,
How
Brett.
many
Yeah.
decent people were raised that way?
Oh yeah,
So
sure.
they
Yeah.
they attack
Sure.
him because there's some, I don't know, the reasoning is very, very weak. But the real reason they attack him is because he's a famous white complected man teaching moral lessons, and they can't have that. We
Well,
can't be just like Doctor Strange. We can't have a white guy teaching anybody anything. What is this?
oh no, and Jiminy actually hit it on in the chat earlier, where it's basically attacking the nuclear family. That's
Yeah,
the communist, manifesto. You got to break down the nuclear family. It's important, right?
of
But the
course.
sad thing for me is what you're creating by doing all these things is not only you're creating apathy, but you're also creating a lot of angst and you can even use the word jealousy amongst a lot of the white community, particularly children. And that's unfortunate because some of these books, looking here, they're probably fine. They're just books that are geared toward black kids. And what's wrong with that? There's nothing wrong with that. But now you got to make it political, and people who might have read it before won't read it. I mean, when I was a kid, I read a couple of books that weren't just white people books because you didn't, no
Oh
one
yeah.
cared, no one thought about it, right? But now it's political. You've politicized it, and you've taken some of these books here that might be really nice books that kids would have read, and but now they're not going to read it because their parents don't want the politic in their kids' face. That's what you've done,
Right.
right? And this continuing attack is creating more and more and more frustration, and in the end, what you're going to do is create racism, right? That's what you're doing. That's what they're doing, and that's their intention, I do believe. But it's unfortunate. Like I remember, now my case is a little different. My kids are biracial. However, I remember my kids were little. My daughter's favorite book was about this little green sea turtle, a Hawaiian sea turtle, and it was a Polynesian-based book, right? She's not Polynesian, but
Hmm.
there are all kind of little things like that that my kids grew up reading, and because no one thought of it, it was just, oh, that's a pretty book, and the kids would read it, they like it or they don't. I have a library in the other room that has hundreds of children's books in it. I bought for my kids, reading books to them all the time. Now I use them in my school mainly. But this is unfortunate. These people think they're doing the right thing. They're fighting racism because they're all deluded. But actually, what you're doing is you're creating division and you're creating problems. And woke baby, fuck you.
You and Kevin Feige.
Yeah, I mean, basically. But I mean, it's sad, dude. I know it makes a lot of people angry, and I get that. I'm angry too, but it's just sad because you're taking opportunity away. If we go up, I don't know these people. What's this Grace Byers? I don't know her, or Derek Barnes and Gordon James, and I can't see any other ones. This is Tammy Charles, Brian Collier. Maybe these people are good at what they do. The art is certainly good on some of this. Maybe they're good writers. Maybe these are good books that kids would enjoy. But now you've absolutely thrown it into either only black people reading it or woke white people, and they're just propagandizing their children anyway, right? And it's unfortunate. This is not how you do this, dude. Let them stand on their own merit and they will become what they will become, right? This is
Yes.
wrong. It's evil. Everyone loved green eggs and ham, dude. Even my
Even
Japanese
Jesse
kids like it.
Jackson.
Even Jesse Jackson, that tool. All right.
You know what? You know what I love, Chester? Is
Yeah.
Booster Kiwi, but I don't know where he is.
Yeah, I think he's had
I
an
wonder.
aneurysm. I think we've lost him.
I had a problem a second ago. It's like the audio of you guys just quit. I couldn't hear you guys talk anymore, but I could see your little bubbles light up. So I popped out and hopped back in. Everything was fine. I wonder if he had the same problem.
Well, he probably something came up and he had to go talk with someone. I'm sure he's doing. He just got.
Oh yeah, probably a meth addict at the door.
Something like that. He's having sex right now. All right, let's move on. But this is sad to me, dude, because as far as I know, many of these books are probably good books, but they're not going to get they're not going to get any attention because of your racism, and that's sad, dude. It's sad. Anyway, go ahead.
New numbers for the Snyder Cut show it getting trounced by Mortal Kombat and Godzilla vs. Kong. Good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Real quick and easy. The Snyder Cut, while better, was still very lackluster.
Not good. Not good. Yeah, not good. I'm glad they put Darkseid in it for sure. I think the ending was better, although I don't like them leaning heavily on the Flash because that guy is toxic and hateful, and we don't need him. However, of course, Godzilla versus Kong was much bigger than Mortal Kombat, although they're both probably about the same quality of movie. Because Godzilla versus Kong just cut all the human stuff out of that and just watch the kaiju fights. Right now,
in fact, going forward, if they do make more, I'm just gonna put this: just don't even do human stuff. Just give us 45 minutes of kaiju fights.
Yeah,
I
agree.
I'll watch that. I'll watch the hell out of that.
Now you've watched both of these movies, Thundero. Just taking the story stuff out and just looking at the action set pieces, which is better?
Oh, Godzilla vs. Kong, way better.
See, that's unfortunate. But nevertheless, Snyder's getting trounced. Not shocking, really, because it wasn't very good. I watched Godzilla vs. Kong, and it's certainly better than the Snyder Cut. I mean, enough said, All right.
Well, I mean, Justice League gave you a big shit sandwich.
It did.
And you take a little shit off the shit sandwich and give you the Snyder Cut. It's still a shit sandwich.
It's still a shit sandwich. Yeah.
Still lots of shit around in and around your mouth. You don't want it. Yeah.
Especially around the mouth. Yeah. But the thing is, the thing that killed me about the Snyder Cut was the damn music choices. I mean, my God, dude. I mean,
yeah, they're bad.
Someone needs to slap someone in the head. That's all I know. Anyway, let's move on. I just put it there because I thought it was an interesting headline. This is very interesting.
I
highly don't happen.
Yeah, rumor Disney in talks to bring back Gina Carano to The Mandalorian.
Oh, nice, Jimmy. That's good to hear, dude. Jimmy, they're making some money. Good on you, dude. Now this is coming from Overlord DVD. Now, Doomcock is usually pretty accurate. He's got some inside lanes.
He's a hack.
Yeah, but he's usually pretty accurate, though, dude. Whether you
hasn't
like him
he been
or not.
saying for like 4 years that Kathleen Kennedy was about to be fired next week?
Exactly.
Well, that's true.
Kathleen, I'm gonna spoil everyone's fun. Kathleen ain't going anywhere till she's ready to go.
Maybe.
Period. She was the chosen successor by Spielberg. She's not going anywhere.
That's
simple
fair.
as.
That's fair. But here's the thing. I'm not even care about that. That's not even why I put this article up there. I put the article up there because I don't think Gina should go back. I think she should go straight to hell.
Exactly.
I think she would.
Money's money, I guess. But
yeah, but how much money do you need? Let's be honest. Well, there comes a point where it's just gratuitous, really. And your integrity should be priceless, and I think Gina has proven that hers kind of is. She was offered a pretty big money fight with Ronda Rousey. Probably would have been the biggest female fight of all time, especially up to that point. And she backed out of it because Dana White's an idiot and wouldn't shut his mouth about it and let her get training. And she wanted some time. Basically, the story goes she wanted some time to train without anybody knowing about it, and then they could do a nice big announcement when she was ready and got herself back in fighting shape. And he wouldn't shut up about it. He was everywhere talking about it. So she was like, okay, Dana, well, then fuck you. I'm out. And that was it.
To be honest, it's fair. Women shouldn't be fighting anyway.
Yes, but these two women would have made a horrendous amount of money fighting each other.
Yeah, but
and she walked away from it. And she walked away from it. And I don't think money is what drives her, is my point. I think she enjoys acting, and she enjoys the business of acting. So I think that's what was driving her more than anything. But I just don't think she would. I don't think she'd crawl back to him even if they apologize. She might. Maybe she'd get bad advice telling her to. But I think she's a person of high integrity. I don't think that's something that's going to happen.
Well, I think it's part of her character. What do
Yeah.
you think, Eric? I mean, about the idea of Gina, accepting it, if it's true, accepting it or not. Well, what do you think about that?
I liked her on The Mandalorian. I like The Mandalorian show, but I would not want her to even come back. I mean, for her, I wouldn't. I would say no. If someone asked me to come back like that, I'd say, fuck you. No way.
Yeah.
And they didn't have the balls to fire her in person or even with a tweet. She had to read it online herself.
Yeah.
Now,
Exactly.
more importantly, Chester, go back to that main picture of the article.
No, I'm looking at this one here and trying to understand.
No,
why
no,
you
no,
guys
no,
keep
no,
telling
no.
me she's hot.
No, no,
I'm trying to
go back
understand.
to the main- go back to the main-
in deep contemplation, Eric.
This is all linked. Go back to the
Sorry,
main
okay,
picture.
fine. Here we go. All right, fine. All right, go ahead.
Okay, which one's the most attractive there, Chester?
The one on the right, of course.
Okay, that's what I figured. I'm going to say middle.
Well,
Yeah,
the
I'd
thing
say
is,
middle,
the
too.
one
She
on
has
the
the nice
left is a
smile.
transgender dude. All right, let's be fair. The one in the middle, when she's in a female form, she's attractive-ish. The one on the right, she's an older woman. She's still beautiful. When she was younger, this lady was knockout. By the way,
She's older than us.
So was
Yes,
Gina.
she is.
Chester.
No.
Uh,
Okay. Once again, back to my contemplation.
Okay, go back to the other
back
picture.
to my
Yeah,
back to my
yeah.
contemplation. Okay, there you go. This is.
I knew this was the real reason of you bringing this up. It had nothing to do with the
This
article. It was
looks
the
like
picture.
my linebacker.
well, yeah, she's a thick girl. There's nothing wrong with that.
Oh yeah,
Oh,
oh yeah,
girl.
she is.
I'll talk about
Oh,
the
yeah.
jaw and all of it. Yeah, that's
Mm.
okay, Eric. Now I understand you better. I understand you better. Buddy. I do.
Come on, look how adorable she is in that picture with the long
She is
cape
very
or whatever that
charismatic.
was.
She has a cute
Come
smile.
on, look at that.
Warm smile.
This is the same dress. That was just a bad photo you're seeing.
I would like to know why her and the best man in Hollywood, Henry Cavill, didn't stay together. I'd like to know that backstory.
Because
she was too much of a man for him.
She's super cute in this picture here. But no, when she was younger, and she was actually in fighting shape, she was attractive. Yeah. It's just not my thing, dude. I'm just picking on her. But she seems like a nice lady, and she's got a great smile. Absolutely awesome smile. That's for damn sure. Warm and inviting, nice lady. And
even though she was a fighter, like her facial expressions and the way she moves are very feminine. She still has a lot of feminine grace, even though she's built like a brick shithouse. There's just a lot of femininity in the way she carries herself, and I appreciate that. Appreciate the hell out of that.
Especially the way she bites her lip.
Oh God, here we go. Now this picture is interesting. Look at the dynamics going on. She is being very personal with him. She's in close for the picture. She's smiling. She's happy, and she's being personable with him. Look at his distantness. He's not interacting with her physically or mentally at all. I mean, look at the picture.
Well,
we don't know where his hand is.
He's clearly a homosexual. Are you kidding me? Like,
probably. But
have you seen him act without the helmet on? The man is not straight, and that's okay. I'm not saying he can't be not straight. That's fine. But he needs to admit it to himself because all of his mannerisms and facial expressions scream to me that he likes men.
Although I would probably lean just a touch to the left, just get a little bit of the booby roll. Just a little bit. Yeah. I'm not against booby rolling. That's my wife. Hi, baby.
Oh.
She's preparing food. Anyway, let's move on. But I hope she doesn't. Screw them, Gina. Screw them.
I agree.
Now, this might be interesting. Go ahead.
Legendary's... Wait, is Booster back? Nope. Legendary's Toxic Avenger reboot adds Taylor Page.
Okay. Now, this is a very unattractive human, but that's okay. Well, no, here's the thing. Toxic Avenger was great. You guys ever watch Toxic Avenger?
I have not.
Was it great?
It was great.
When was the last
schlock.
time you watched it?
A couple of years ago. It's great
Oh,
schlock,
okay.
dude. It's great for
Okay,
being
okay.
bad.
I'll give you
That's the
that.
thing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it
It's
is, yeah.
just good, stupid fun. But anyway, Toxie may be getting a new girlfriend when his next movie hits theaters. Deadline brings word that Taylor Page has joined the cast of Legendary's Toxic Avenger reboot as the female lead. Well, no, Toxie would be the lead, not her. She'd be the girlfriend. And, Toxie gets it with the ladies. He gets some lady love. He gets some lady love.
The more interesting part is the second half of that, this next paragraph.
I'm going to get to it in a minute. I'm just feeling sad for Toxie because he doesn't get a pretty one like he did last time. This time he's getting an
This
ugly
woman
lady.
is not ugly.
That is an
This
ugly
woman is not
woman.
ugly.
That is an ugly woman. Looks like a man in a wig. Don't give me that.
Thundero, help me here.
All right. Peter Dinklage is headlining the new film as its title character, and Peter Dinklage,
Yeah, the midget.
Peter Dinklage.
Little person, I'm sorry.
No, he's a midget. But Peter's awesome though, dude. He's actually a really
he's a
good
great
actor.
actor, yeah.
He's a great actor, dude.
You seen him in Death at a Funeral?
Ooh, have I? That sounds very familiar.
You need to see that. There's two versions of. I hate to say this. There's a white version and a black version. They both came out almost at the same time. One was from England and one was here made in the States. But he's in both of them as the same character.
Wow, that's cool. Yeah. Well, he is a good actor. There of course little people get into the wee folk get into a lot of movies. Of course, they we talked about this the other day. I think of all of the wee folk I've seen, he's probably the best actor. And I mean, just wee folk aside, he's just a great actor. That has nothing to do with it. He's really good. Anyway, Peter Dinklage is headlining the new film. I don't understand how they go do that. As its title character, an outcast whose life changes forever when he falls into a vat of toxic waste. So why not only is Toxie having to get an ugly lady, Peter Dinklage gets an ugly lady. Give him a bone. Damn it. Anyway.
Zach, help me out. Help me out here, Zach. That woman is not ugly.
Okay, hold on. I'm looking. What's the woman?
Here we go.
Let's see. Let me see this woman. Oh, Gina Carano?
No.
No. Okay. It's Rock Lady.
Yeah, well, yes, but no.
She's not terrible.
She's not pretty, dude. Anyway, the accident mutates Toxie beyond all
I'm sorry, but I gotta ask. Like, every time we look at a woman that is of color, you're like, man, she ugly.
Dude, I love color. I like yellow color all day long,
ugly.
dude. What are you talking about?
By the way, Booster, everybody's waiting for you.
We don't know where Booster is.
He's here.
We haven't heard from him in an hour. So we're not sure what happened to him.
He shows here, but he's not here.
Yeah, the lead opinion is he's had an aneurysm and he's on the ground drooling on his mouth. That's the lead opinion.
Second, there's a meth hooker at the door.
That's right. Second's meth
crap.
hooker. Yeah. Anyway, let me read it. The accident mutates Toxie beyond all recognition and also gives him superhuman size, and strength. So Peter Dinklage is just going to be voicing the character. Interesting. According to the reboot's long line, the movie will follow Toxie as he races to save his son, his friends, and his community from the forces of corruption and greed. Jacob Tremblay also joined the cast last month. Whatever. Chadwick Boseman, that's not Viola Davis. I love Toxie for being exactly what it is. A reboot of Toxie with Peter Dinklage, please. Thank you very much. That sounds fun to me. I just wish they'd give him a sexy first lady. I mean, come on, give him something hot. What are you doing?
I agree. No, I can't make a comment on her attractiveness because that haircut is the most ridiculous thing I think I've ever seen in my life.
Well, she looks like a dude.
So I can't do it.
Well, it looks like a 1920s haircut. So I wonder if this is taken from a period movie of some sort. I'm hoping. God, I'm hoping.
Probably. And Zach, to answer your question,
Zach's gone.
Okay.
Just wanted Booster, not us.
Oh, I see. All righty. Anyway, go ahead, Thundera. Sorry.
No, I said my piece. Her haircut is ridiculous.
Eric was talking? Sorry, go ahead, Eric.
Oh, well, it looks like it's probably from a period piece, but I'm not sure.
Oh, that thing.
Maybe that is just a bad hairstyle. Yeah.
I'm just joking. I don't really care about any of that. But Peter Dinklage voicing Toxie, dude, that's kind of cool.
That'd be cool.
Yeah, I'm all for it, man. And this lady here, I've seen her before. She's not a bad actress, actually. She can do her thing, man. I'm sure she'll be fine. And they'll doll her up the best they can, anyway.
Oh, she was in White Boy Rick.
Was she? Yeah. No, I've
Yeah.
seen her. I've seen her do stuff before. She's not a bad actress. I don't know who she is, but I've seen her before. She can do her job. But I'm all for this, man. I love Toxic Avenger. It's definitely one of my guilty pleasures. It's completely stupid and outrageous and just should not exist. It should not exist. But to just give you an idea who Toxie is, though, this little thing say where he has to go and save his son and family, that's odd. Because if you watch the original Toxic Avenger, you understand that he's way too nerdy to have ever had sex ever. He does. Toxie later does though. Right, but this is a reboot. But here's the thing, my
Who's having sick?
he lives. We thought you had an aneurysm.
Boosty!
Sorry about that. I had a visit from the Ministry of Health to ask me random questions.
Oh, okay.
What?
Wow.
Oh, you live in
Oh.
a police state. I got it. It's fine.
Yeah,
Don't worry.
I was like, Ministry of Health. I was like, this is sounding very 1984. This.
It's like probably
Oh.
like a census or something like that.
Yeah,
Well,
just like
now that
yeah.
Booster's here, we need to go back to Gina Carano real quick.
Apparently, he passed the test though, so he's alive.
He is. He's lived.
Yeah.
Oh, Gina Carano,
Exactly.
sure. I'll bring up the picture for him.
No, he's gonna pick the worst picture I've ever seen of her.
Oh
go.
man, that is not flattering.
That is a bad picture. Now, but if you go up
No,
to the
no.
top,
You
no.
still would, wouldn't you?
No, this is
Go up
reality.
to
It's
the-
right here.
go up to the top and look at that picture. She looks far better.
I mean, I would still shag her brains out, but yeah.
Yes.
No,
Yeah.
Booster, let's be honest. She'd be shagging you. You would just be sitting there giggling. Come on now.
I'm like, okay, I'll be giggling.
I mean, he'd be giggling or he'd be crying because either way, it's happening.
You
Chester
know
versus
what's
Sergeant
loose,
Kabuki
dude.
Man. Yeah, there you go.
Oh, Booster Zach did pop in here and said everybody's waiting for you, and we told him you weren't here.
Yeah.
All
you lied.
right, shit. I have to go play video games with them, or they're gonna hurt me.
Okay, you go do that.
Okay.
I love you. Mwah.
Later, dude. I'm
Um,
glad you're alive. Here's before I move away from this article because I do need to move on. Why is there a picture of her here anyway? I guess they are talking about adding her, but shouldn't Peter Dinklage be in here somewhere? I mean, he's Toxie.
I think that's the big news. It's the Peter Dinklage is the news there. I think he should be up there.
I'm glad they added her. Like I said, I've seen her work before, and she's fine. Yeah. Well, it's cool, dude. I love the fact that Peter Dinklage is doing it, though. That is so awesome. It's a little odd, though, because Toxic Avenger is absolutely bare bottom B movie schlock. It is the bottom of the barrel when it comes to that kind of thing. And it seems a little bit highbrow to have Peter Dinklage come in. I mean, geez, he's a bit of a heavy hitter to bring into a Toxic Avenger movie. I mean, come on.
He's not full of himself, I don't think.
No,
So he's probably a fan.
maybe. Yeah, he's about our age, I think. I bet you he's close to 40 or 45 or so. Peter is white. He doesn't matter. I think he gets a little advantage on that list, but probably not much. Anyway, let's move on. Now, I'm confused. Go ahead, dude.
Who cares? Marvel Comics is publishing NFL Draft one-shots.
Now, I've never seen anything like this done before. The NFL Draft, I used to watch. You guys ever watch the NFL Draft?
Not anymore.
Not anymore, no.
Used to. I haven't watched it in years now, but yeah.
Yeah, because they suck. But there used to be some real heavy hitters that would come up out of college, and everybody be talking about it. Be a lot of news about who's going to pick them up, where they're going to go in the draft, etc., etc. I've never seen someone do a comic book about their potential in the draft. That is weird. The art sucks here.
And not that. Oh yeah, not that I recall. I don't remember them ever doing this either.
No.
Oh, I got it. ESPN is owned by Disney. Marvel's owned
Yes,
by Disney.
it is.
There we go.
And they're Najee Harris.
Oh,
But the thing is, they're desperate. They're really trying to up their sales. And the problem is here that no one cares at all about NFL because they're dumb. Their viewership has dropped radically. Radically. I mean, now we always say baseball is America's game. Okay, fair enough. But people watch football, right?
mhm.
And but they've absolutely shot themselves in the face, man. I mean, they just unbelievable. This Goodall guy, is that his name? That's that the idiot in charge, Roger Goodall?
Mhm.
He's an idiot. He's an idiot, and they've hurt
Oh,
themselves.
he is.
And I don't know if they can repair it. To be honest with you, people have moved on. But then again, all the sports have kind of pissed people off. They've just kind of moved on. You know, name a sport that hasn't pissed people off. Shot put.
Hockey, maybe.
Sumo.
Oh yeah, well it's all
I
tradition.
was gonna say NASCAR, but NASCAR pissed everybody off too.
Yeah, with the lie about the noose. Yeah, I mean, come on.
Yeah.
Well, they also banned
their
the
flags away.
flag.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They banned what?
Yeah.
Yep.
They banned. That's what. And that Bubba's. What is his name? Bubba, whatever. He's the one that requested it be banned.
Well, explain to me. What do you mean they banned the flag? What do you mean?
Not allowed to bring it to the events anymore. They'll take it from you or kick you out.
Are they committing suicide live?
Yeah, they all are. Yeah. They actually. Here's the craziest thing about all these sports leagues. They think the American people, at least not all of them anyway, are so addicted to their sports ball that they'll abandon all their principles just for it.
Clearly not. But I mean, no, hold on a second. How can NASCAR tell you you can't bring a flag? What the American flag? What? That doesn't make any sense at all, dude.
Not the American flag, the
not the
Confederate
American
flag.
flag.
Well, then what flag? I don't understand.
The Confederate flag. For the 15th time, you old bastard.
Oh, well, what's wrong with that one?
The rebel flag.
Oh, the rebel
as
flag.
they
Yeah,
call
okay.
it.
What's
Yeah,
wrong with that one?
Technically, yes, it's the rebel flag, not the Confederate flag, but
Yeah.
people don't know history.
Yeah, I do.
'Cause-
Therefore, I ignored your bastard ass. How's about that?
naval battle flag. Isn't that what it actually is?
It is the battle flag of the Virginia.
battle flag of the
Virginia.
Republic. Yeah.
Yeah.
Um,
So unfortunately, the Ku Klux Klan likes to use it, so they think it's racist all the
Oh yeah,
time.
the Democrats. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. Oh yeah, the ones that form the Ku Klux Klan. Yeah.
Okay. So you can't bring the Taiwan flag too. Yeah, I agree, Brett. They should wave that around.
Well, here's the real problem with the old rebel flag. To me, is it's way cooler looking the American flag. It's such a better design.
It is badass. Yeah. Anyway.
No, but yeah, all these sports leagues are doing a nice slow death. It seems.
Yeah.
And maybe they're right. Maybe the American people will just stop caring and they'll watch their sports ball or whatever and be happy. But
well, they're wrong.
I haven't watched the NFL in about 2016 was about the last time I think where I actually sat down and watched the game.
Yeah, maybe so.
And I was a diehard Steelers fan for most of my life.
Yeah,
but I haven't watched a full game 3 years, I guess, except for the Super Bowl. But I really just kind of with friends and we sit and bullshit around. We don't even pay attention to the game.
Yeah. Well, the numbers are showing, Thundero, that they have killed themselves because their numbers are way down in a time where people would be watching TV, but they're not watching them, right? So
correct.
Anyway, I got last story here today, which I want to talk about a little bit. Go ahead.
Comics review: Silk #2, a new spider for a new age.
Now, Silk was created in that Spider-Verse thing where they had to have all different kind of Spider-Man, alternates, and they brought out so many, right? And Miles Morales is the one that hit. People like that character, and it's been adopted. Now here's the thing. They've tried to relaunch here Silk. The art is horrible, so it's going to fail, I'm sure. But if you go back and you read the original idea of Silk, because it's alternate versions of how the people became the spider character, right? I liked the idea. The concept of this character is pretty cool, but they just didn't handle it right, and it looks like they're not handling it right again. Now, my question is this: any of you guys read the original Silk when they came back? What, out about 3 years ago? Was it 2 years ago? 4 years ago? Something like that.
Mm-hmm.
No, I did not.
No.
No, I did not.
Yeah. Chester Lake Play Center. Actually, I was a middle linebacker, but whatever. Well, I was good. I was good against against running plays. That was my forte.
Well, we all know how big you are. Of course, you had to be a middle linebacker. What do they think you were?
Yeah, a center, I guess. I'm not that
Tight
big.
end? What?
Yeah. I wasn't fast enough to be a tight end. I wasn't fast enough to be an outside linebacker. I was an inside. I was a middle linebacker, and that's what I was good at. And I didn't. I sucked at everything else. But anyway, the point being is, I think it's sad. I like the idea of this character. Her story is tragic and harsh, and she overcomes some pretty serious stuff. Although it is weird how these supposed woke people always want to put a girl into a rape situation. I don't know why they do that a lot, but they do.
I think it's
Uh,
fantasy.
I suppose. But
Mm.
aside from that, just the fact that she overcame really harsh, her story is much closer to, say, Logan's or X-23's as far as how she came to be. And I thought it was a really good idea. Sans rape, of course. But I just think it's a shame they're wasting this character because of all those damn Spider Verse things, which sucked, including Miles Morales. He's literally just a color version of Peter Parker. It's stupid. This was a unique character, and they're trying again to get her to hit, but I don't see how they're going. I haven't read it. Maybe it's well written. Let's see what this person says here. Okay, let me see. Silk, the renamed Cindy Moon, finds herself the latest addition to the Threats and Menace journalist team. Despite trying to separate her heroic life and personal life, the two clash head on. And when a gang turns up dead for a story she finds herself trying to solve, the problem as Silk and as a journalist. What? Can she balance the two thoughts? This is horribly written. Who wrote this? Knock it off, Mika Sivad. Learn your English, foreigner. All right.
Oh, Jesus.
My overall impression. Silk number 2 reads very smoothly. Marine Gu is a writer with experience in the young adult genre, so that makes a lot of sense. That scares me. She managed to capture the feeling of the young adult without, because she's an Asian character, so it has to be an Asian writing it, right? To capture the feeling of the young adult without very cringe dialogue. Okay. Cindy does indeed feel like a young millennial in the thick of New York. Of course, this means you get the tropes: high profile job, nice apartment in New York, and the therapist to boot. Gu writes it in such a way, though, that despite the tropes, you can forgive it. This is because she delves more into the civilian side of Cindy. Okay. As hard as it is to believe, the moment when Cindy Moon is out of costume and being a journalist is far more interesting than when she's in costume. Now, that's a good point. One thing I did like about the character is she spends time as, a la Peter Parker quite a bit, right? And that's a good thing. That's something that they screw up with Batman constantly now. He's constantly in the suit, just fighting people. He's a detective, dude. Let him do his thing, right? But Fanneberg, considering that Goo is new to the superhero genre, her first venture is very good. I can recommend this strongly for anyone missing classic Spidey. The recent Spider-Man story lacked in what makes this so good. I realize this is strange to say for such an offshoot character, but in just 2 issues, Goo has started a great story. Can she keep it up, though? Only time will tell. See, I'm going to go and read these because I actually liked the idea of the character. And I thought it was an original concept, unlike all the other cut and paste stuff they did. So I'm going to check it out. Um, you guys have no interest whatsoever in Silk, huh?
I've heard it's an interesting character. It was when she came out, and a lot of people actually liked her. I didn't know why she had gone away. I mean, I really love that cover at the top of the article. That
Yeah,
looks really
it's
nice.
beautiful.
I guess is that Vermin she's fighting?
It is Vermin, yeah.
So that's cool. I might check that out when it comes out.
Or is it Mongoose? No, it's Vermin.
I think it's Vermin.
Yeah. I like the character, so I'm gonna check it out. Korean girl eats kimchi. I mean, it's great. I don't blame her, but lol. Oh God, Brett. All right. I just called her foreigner. I didn't get all Korean on her. All right. But the writer is definitely Korean. Mika Savid is a Jewish name for sure. So Israeli. Learn your English. What are you doing? All right. Anyway, that's what I got for today. There was actually quite a bit of comic book news in there, ironically. So that's neat. And there was some other idiot things going on as well, but that's the world we live in. So, you guys got anything to say before we close it out?
Nothing. Other than Mike DeWine needs to go immediately.
Who?
Governor of Ohio.
What did he do?
He's just a scumbag. He
Wait.
wants to be a Democrat, but he somehow is a Republican.
Would he be worse than Pritzker?
I don't know. He's not worse than Whitmer, thankfully, but he's trying. He's trying. He said something to the effect today that he's perfectly fine with he didn't say this, but this is what he meant, whether he knows it or not. He's perfectly fine with creating a caste system in Ohio where the vaccinated and the unvaccinated have different access to things. Yeah.
That's dumb. Yeah.
Real Republican of him, isn't it?
Well, especially seeing as even if you have the vaccination, as far as the government is concerned, it doesn't mean anything. You still got to wear your mask. You still got a distance. You can't do anything anyway. So what's the point? What's the point? If that's the reality, then don't, because natural immunization is far superior to vaccination. I mean, that's the reality.
You can take the mask off now, according to the government, if you're outside and nobody's around you.
Oh, fair enough. As if people weren't doing that already. Yeah. These people are idiots, and I just hope that a political avalanche buries all of them. I really do. But seeing as the Democrats are openly cheating, and getting away with it, allowed to get away with it, I don't know that it's ever going to change. If they can cheat every election from now on, like they did the last one, well, what's the point? I mean, what's the point?
Yep.
So anyway, thank you guys. Thank you guys very much. We will check you out tomorrow. We are hopefully playing D&D. Hopefully, last week our DM was busy, so we couldn't do it. Hopefully, we'll have it tomorrow. But other than that, do keep in mind we will be back next week for Night Owls, and we will be talking a little bit about UFOs. A little bit.
Hey, don't forget Thursday night.
Oh, Thursday, join a quarter. Sure. What are we doing this Thursday, by the way?
80s action heroes.
Oh, that's mine.
And Jimmy better show up because he hasn't been on there in like a year.
Yeah, no, that's my choice, dude. I mean, that's a great choice. There's so many options. I hope you guys put a little thought into it and come up with some obscure winks at the audience. I hope you do. But nevertheless, we'll check you guys out for that. Have yourself a wonderful evening and be safe. Later.
Bye.